now, the creators of the biggest smash hit of all time bring you the next episode in the Star Wars saga, The Empire Strikes Back.
I made the mistake of watching The Acolyte, the first episode last night. What can I tell you? You've all seen the reviews out there at the moment. There's nothing new to report. All I can report is I'm pretty certain that the people at Disney, including Kathleen Kennedy, Headland, and the rest of the Acolytes, as we'll name them, they hate us. They hate us. There's no other way to describe it. I don't understand what the hell's going on. I showed you a clip of The Empire Strikes Back because that was my first experience of Star Wars at the cinema. I came out of that as a 6-year-old. I came out of that with my brain melted from seeing something wondrous and magical. And you fast forward 40 years and my brain is melted from the amount of garbage and agenda-driven drivel that is pouring out of my fucking TV screen.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
I don't want this to be a rant about how this show's terrible, even though it's terrible. I want to know where this all comes from, because this has happened since the acquisition of the Star Wars franchise by Disney a few years back for a astronomical sum of money in the billions. And I don't understand really what the end game is here for this company, because it seems like they're trying to drive their own product off of a cliff. That's what it feels like. It's the equivalent of the CEO of McDonald's saying, you know what, everyone loves burgers. I know they absolutely love these Big Macs. I think we should sell radishes. Fuck the burgers, I'm selling radishes. And if the customer doesn't like it, well, they're toxic. The customer's toxic, and they never deserved this in the first place. It was never meant for them. Now, like a lot of you movie fans and Star Wars fans alike, I've been following this car crash for several years, seeing if they're going to stop the car, turn it round, and drive back to the place where people were happy with the product. I hate the fact that every conversation everyone on YouTube is having now is a political one. We are talking about the art and we're dissecting that side of it, but most of it is how we dislike it and how we hate it and how we dislike the agenda-driven crap. And that's a shame. You know, we're not even talking about really effects anymore. We're not talking about characters. We're not talking about the story. We're just talking about how producers have taken control of this vehicle and they are literally trying to drive it into a brick wall. And that's just horrible. When we went to the movies as kids, we never were thinking about, oh God, do you know what? That George Lucas guy, I really wish he would do this, and this. We weren't having those conversations. That's because George Lucas knew what he was doing. He was in charge of his product. And, you know, for better or worse, the first 3 movies from the 70s and 80s were absolute gems. I've been racking my brain to think of what this reason could be. I've been racking my brain, and the thing that I come back to is Me Too. The Me Too movement.
It's been 5 years since allegations against Harvey Weinstein set in motion a movement that changed Hollywood and the world. Some women still hoping for justice.
This is my first time being in the courtroom with Harvey Weinstein, and that is very emotional, but I'm also very grateful that this is actually happening.
Now, you think that the agenda would be a Trojan horse that's kind of secretly put into the show in a nuanced way and delivered with a bit of subtlety. No, this Trojan horse is galloping around the fucking screen. It's ridiculous. I mean, Doctor Who is a prime example of this now. I mean, it's not even a science fiction show anymore. It's nothing to do with it. It's literally nothing to do with that. Political commentary is one thing, but once you start blurring the lines between entertainment and essentially like you're trying to school the audience, you've tread a very, very thin line.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
And this virus, this mind virus, whatever you want to call it, it's woke, whatever we want to label it as, this ideology has no place in entertainment. It has no place in it. Keep that shit to yourselves. Keep it to yourselves. I have political views on things. I don't need to be preaching it in a drawing that I've done. I don't need to be preaching it in photography that I've done. You know, people don't need that. People have their own ideas. This isn't how life is supposed to be. It's not how entertainment is supposed to be. Things have their place, but Star Wars primarily is a children's show.
I would say arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not
bracing
the gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the...
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know
Yeah.
you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point?
So where do we go from here? Well, I can tell you for one, I'm not watching any more of this crap. I can't do it. I can't do it. I've lost faith in these shows. I've lost faith in the franchise. I'm not saying I was the biggest Star Wars fan that you've ever seen, but I absolutely adored the originals. Watching this nonsense on screen now, I mean, I'm laughing. Laughing at it. It's not a comedy, but it plays like a comedy. I mean, what does this do? What does this ultimately do? This makes people, or the movie-going public, think, oh, nothing's really being catered towards me now. I don't really see anything out there that's making me have those feelings that I used to have when I used to go to the cinema. I know, but I've got this huge back catalogue of movies that I absolutely adore on Blu-ray. I think I'm just going to start watching them again, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm watching the stuff from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, which were uncorrupted. I don't need to be pandered to. I don't need to be learning anything about someone's ideology. I don't need that in entertainment. Sorry, it's been a bit of a rant, but I had to get it out and I had to get it off my chest. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. In the midweek, I'm going to kind of talk about more topical things, and on the weekend, I'm going to do more long-form content. So please like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one.